Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Enjoy Learning Computer Science. To watch my previous videos, click the link in the description box. To get notified for my new videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel Enjoy Learning Computer Science. This video is part 7 of working with functions. In the previous video, we discussed about parameters and arguments, right? So parameters are the values provided in the parenthesis, provided inside the parenthesis in the function header. Okay, so parameters are the values in the function header. If there are more than one parameter, it must be separated by comma. Now, what is an argument? Argument is the value that is passed inside the function call statement. When you invoke a function or when you call a function, you will provide some values. Those values are known as arguments. Okay, so parameters are the values found in the function header, right? And arguments are the values which are passed in the function call statement. Now, parameters is also known as formal arguments. Parameters is also known as formal arguments. Arguments are also known as actual arguments, right? Actual arguments. Now, function call can alter only mutable type values. Mutable means that can be changed. It cannot alter any immutable data type values. So, a function call can alter only mutable type values. Look at this example. So here function definition, this is the function definition. In the function header, the values which are given within parenthesis is known as parameter or formal argument. Now, but this is the function call area of n. The value which is given in the function call is known as argument or actual argument. So parameters are the values which are given in the function header. It is otherwise known as formal argument. Then argument is the values given in the function call. It is also known as actual argument. Python provides 4 types of actual arguments. Okay, those are positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable length arguments. Okay, let's see them in detail. The first one is positional arguments. Okay, so a function call statement for a given function definition have to match the number of arguments with the number of parameters required. Also, the values should be given position wise or order wise. That is, the first parameter receives the value of first argument, second parameter receives the values of second argument, and so on. Okay, so argument is the value which is passed in the function call statement. Parameter is inside the function definition, function header. Okay, here this is the parameter. A comma b is the parameter which is available in the function header, and x comma y is the argument which is given inside the function call. So what is meant by position arguments? So normally number of parameters inside the function definition should be equal to the number of arguments inside the function call. Now it is in order wise. It should be in order wise also, because the first argument will be matching to the first parameter, second to the second. Okay, so x is passed to A and y is passed to B. That is in the order of the position. So an argument passed to a function should be in correct positional order. Look at this example. So we have given a program, right? Divide a comma b is the name of the function. C is equal to a slash b print c. X is equal to input enter first number. Y is equal to input. So it start executing from x. So when you run this and execute this program, it will ask enter first number 20. Enter second number 10. 20 will be assigned to A and 10 will be assigned to B. Okay, so when it calls the function divide x comma y, so print c means A slash B. 20 slash 10 is 2.0 will be the answer. Now if we change the order, look at the next example. Divide a comma b, the same thing only. Here instead of x comma y, it is given y comma x. So x is 20, y is 10. So it will, y comma x means 10 divided by 20. Change the order 0.5. So if the number of arguments and formal argument actually differs, then Python will raise an error. So number of arguments and parameters differs, then Python will raise an error. Next one is default arguments. Suppose if we already know the value for a certain parameter, for example, in an interest calculating function, we know that mostly the rate of interest is 10%. Then it can be assigned as a default argument. So the default value is specified in a manner syntactically similar to the variable initialization. How you assign a value to a variable, in the same way the default arguments is also assigned. So Python allows us to assign default values to a function's parameters, which is useful in case a matching argument is not passed in the function call statement. Now the default values must be specified in the function header of the function definition. And once you give a default argument inside the parenthesis, it should not be followed by any other non-default arguments. Look at this example. Def interest principal comma rate comma time is equal to 15. So this time is equal to 15 is the default argument. Okay. So after this default argument, there should not be any variables without assigning any values. Look at the next example. Def interest principal. Here itself rate is equal to 8.5. So this is a default argument. Next one, time is equal to 15. That is also a default argument. So both these statements are valid. Now check the last one. Def interest principal comma rate is equal to 8.5 comma time is invalid because after the default argument there is another variable which is not assigned to any value. So that is not acceptable. So all the default arguments should be right side in the parenthesis. So we can provide default values for our positional arguments. Suppose if you are not passing any value for time will be, by default it will take the value as 15. You can give value of principal comma rate and time also. If you are not giving the value of time, by default it will be assigned as 15. Look at this example. This is the function draw line. Sim is equal to $, times is equal to 20. So the both are default variables, and there is these are the statements inside the function. Now draw line. You are calling the function draw line. You are not passing any parameters inside. That means any arguments. Nothing is passed here. So automatically the first value will be taken as $. The second value was taken as 20 because by default it is given. In the second function call, only at is given, but for times there is no value given. So what will happen? It will assign sim is equal to at and times will be taken as 20 by default. Okay. In the next function, you are giving both the values. So it will be taken as sim as $, and times is equal to 20. Suppose if you are not giving any values for this arguments, default values will be taken. The next one is the keyword arguments. So Python offers a way of writing function calls where you can write any argument in any order, provided you have to write the name of the arguments in the function call statement. See, as of now we have discussed that the arguments order should not be changed, the number of arguments should not be changed. Okay, but if you want to change the order of the arguments, you have to specify the name of the arguments in the function call. That is known as keyword arguments. Okay, so you have to remember the order of the arguments and pass the value accordingly. That's what till now we have studied. So this keyword arguments allows to call function with arguments in any order using the name of the arguments. Look at the example. The same example, draw line $40. So first one $, for symbol $, will be assigned times 40. Now draw line at. So for symbol at will be assigned and times will be taken as 30 by default. Now in the next line, draw line times equal to 10, comma sim is equal to asterisk. So the order is changed, but the names of the arguments is given as it is given in the function definition. So for times, value 10 will be taken. For symbol, asterisk will be taken. Look at the next line, draw line hash times equal to 20. For symbol, hash will be taken times equal to 20. So keyword argument means the order of the arguments can be changed provided the names of the arguments are given. So that is known as keyword argument. Okay. Now rules for combining all the three types of arguments. So an argument list must first contain positional arguments followed by the keyword arguments. The keyword argument should be taken from the required arguments. You cannot specify a value for an argument more than once. Okay. So for one argument, you have to specify only once. More than once, you should not give the value.